This video explains how to solve literal equations. What is a literal equation? It is an equation that contains two or more variables. Our goal is to solve for just one variable with respect to the other. Here are some examples of literal equations you may have already seen or will definitely see in the near future. You solve literal equations the same way as all other equations. You may recognize this equation as the way to find the area of a quadrilateral. In this equation, we have no numbers. That is okay. When we solve for b, we will do the steps just like we would if a and h were numbers. The directions tell me to solve for b. So I am going to circle b so I keep in mind what my variable is. Now I begin my steps to solving. dp, is there any distributive property in my problem? No. CLT, can I combine any like terms? No. Is my variable b already on just one side? Yes, it is. Is there anything being added or subtracted to the b? No. Is there anything being multiplied or divided by the b? Yes. H is being multiplied by b. So I'm going to use the inverse operation of division, and I'm going to divide both sides by h. This simplifies to a over h equals b. And that is the solution to this literal equation where I have been asked to solve for b. Here is another formula you may recognize. It is how to find the perimeter of a square. P equals 4s, and they want us to solve for s. So again, I'm going to circle the s. Do I have any distributive property? No. Can I combine like terms? Nope. Is my s only on one side? Yes, I'm good there. Is anything being added or subtracted from the s? No. Is anything being multiplied or divided by the s? Yes. 4 is being multiplied by s. So I'm going to do my inverse operation of dividing by 4 on both sides. This will simplify to p over 4 equals s. And that is my answer. What this tells us is that one side of the square is equal to the total perimeter divided by 4. Here is another equation that you may be familiar with. It is finding the perimeter of a quadrilateral. Here we have P equals 2L plus 2W, and they want us to solve for W. So I'll begin by circling the W. Do I have any distributive property in this problem? Nope. Are all my terms already combined, my like terms? Yes, they are. Is my W on just one side of the equation? It is. Now, do I have anything being added or subtracted from the W? And I do. I have 2L being added. So that means I'm going to do the opposite, which is subtract 2L from both sides. This will look very messy, but that's okay because it is a literal equation. So I have P minus 2L equals, these cancel out, 2W. I'm still wanting to solve for that W. I don't have anything else being added or subtracted from it. So now I'm going to look at multiplication and division. I have 2 being multiplied by W. My inverse operation is division, so I will divide both sides by 2. This simplifies to P minus 2L divided by 2 equals W. You do not need to simplify any further than that. You cannot cross out both 2's because not only is 2L being divided by 2, but so is the P. An equation that's a little bit harder. This is the equation for converting a temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. F equals 9C over 5 plus 32. They want us to solve for C, so I'm going to circle my C. My first step is to look for distributive property. I do not have any. Second step, combining like terms. No, nothing there. The next one, variables to one side. The only variable I care about is that C. Is there C only on one side of my equation? Yes. So now I look at addition and subtraction. I see that we're adding 32 to where the C is. So I'm going to do the inverse operation of subtraction. I'm going to subtract 32 from both sides. That leaves me with F minus 32 equals, these cancel out, and I'm left with 9C over 5. I'm going to rewrite that slightly to 9/5 C. Our next step is looking at what's being multiplied or divided. Well, here we are multiplying by 9 and dividing by 5. So I could do the opposite and I could multiply by 5 and divide by 9. If you notice, I'm multiplying by the reciprocal of this fraction, and that will cancel it out, so I have C by itself. So I'm going to take this side and multiply it by 5/9. So one way of writing this is 5/9 times F minus 32 equals C. And what that tells us is if we don't know what the temperature is in Celsius, then we can find it based on what the temperature is in Fahrenheit. So to wrap up, we just have to remember to solve a literal equation, we have to get that variable by itself. Our steps are still the same as they were before. Distributive property, combining like terms, making sure our variable is to one side, and then addition, subtraction, multiplication, division.